Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. This is Elliott Wave Sage. Like always, none of this is financial advice. Always do what's best for you. Just use this for your education and entertainment purposes only. And I'm back. Moved has been completed and got my setup going. So now I just have to get a routine established so that I can get a more predictable schedule. But I'll try to squeeze in some live streams as much as I can, as I still have a very disruptive schedule, as you can imagine, getting settled into a new place and trying to figure out where everything is and just running around town and trying to get settled in. But I did want to go ahead and get update. I think tonight's a big debate night, right? I believe tonight is a big night for Trump, right? The Trump debates tonight, and I think that will be the market moving event. And then I also think there's a CPI I heard. So I do believe that that's a news event. So there's a lot of news events coming up. So just know that the market has opportunity to move, and we just have to be ready to stay at your screens. Basically, we have to stay at our screens here. So let's see here. Just wanna look here. And yeah, so CPI is tomorrow too. So a big news event. So market could make a big turn based on how it perceives that news, but we'll have to just wait and see where we go from here. The market update I gave you earlier, it's on my YouTube, so you can look at that. But basically, I gave that market update, and everyone, it's kind of like you got this 5 waves up here. I could look at this as like 3 waves down and put the 2 there. Could still be in a correction here. 3 come up and then shoot back down down to 541. But when you look at it, it just seems like these cycles, like this 4-hour cycle in the SPY is broken out. It's got a lot of upside. That's why I don't think it's going to swing back down. I just don't think it's going to do that. I know everyone thinks it's going to do that. I think it's not going to do that. I think it put the low in here, and you have this ABC flat for an impulse down, and the daily cycle as well could turn in higher. So you got a lot of room for the market. How's the weekly cycle? Yeah, still looks pretty bad. So the 4-hour and daily cycle could carry this market higher. That's why today's little sell-off, we were down like almost 400 points. I was laughing my ass off because this was just a 2-wave, and we recovered most of it. Everyone thought it's going to go back down, but it just can't. It just needs the VIX just won't allow that. The VIX is 5 up, so it's correcting. The triple Qs. So triple Qs, right now we only have 3. Now, what if we don't get this 5th wave? We may not get this 5th wave. Well, then more than likely we're actually in a larger degree B, and it's going to do like a 1, 2, and 3, and probably come back up, fill this gap, and possibly try to retest this high, but more than likely will fail. So we don't know. Are we going to make that push down and then out, or are we just going to start going higher? Don't know. But I'm just showing you what I think is going to happen so far. But if we get any more upside, then that's not going to happen. Then we're going to swing up. The IWM did make a new low today, so we pushed down in 5. And to me, now that we have 5 down, you're going to have a bigger corrective move, something more complex here. Because if this is 5 down, you can't really call this a flat, and you're just really running out of options. So you have to look at something like a 3-wave connector here, or it drops again and then it erases divergence and it becomes a three-wave move, and the 5 erases that divergent, the bullish divergence, and then we could probably put it finish. So we'll have to see again what happens tomorrow. But I wouldn't be buying this nor selling it. Bitcoin, I'm telling you guys, you need to keep an eye on it. Still favor this final push lower. Here you have your 1, 2, and you get this final push lower. But the thing is, you got this this weekly cycle. This weekly cycle that and I showed this earlier. That's close. It's close to a reset. Now we don't have it. Still not done. But if you get that breakout, I think you can't be bearish on crypto with a breakout on the weekly cycle. And more than likely, that's a good sign for the stock market too, right? Now, if we do break down, this would be an great opportunity for long positions. And in Bitcoin, there's stocks like MicroStrategy that just don't look like it's found its low yet. So that's why I still have it doing something like this. But we have to respect the cycles. This market loves to stay true to these cycle breaks. I mean, even more so in the last couple years I've been doing this, regardless of my count and how smart I think I am in Elliott Wave. But once the cycle breaks, typically the market's turning, and we have to respect that and change our count to accommodate that, because that's very important, and that's what I'm seeing in crypto. But not yet. It's close, but not yet. So that is something you want to think about. Oil took a bigger drop today, so it ended this 4. I wanted a bigger 4. Now we could still be in a bigger 4 here, so I don't want to totally give up on this 4. Like we do something like that. Do something like this in oil and energy, or we put in 4 in a truncated manner, and A is in, and we're just going run to B as this 5 finishes. Silver actually was getting a bid today, but again, I think this is a Bessie connector. I believe the daily cycle. Now, see, we have too much divergence, so I think this is just going to turn into some kind of complex connector wave, or possibly make one more low down where I have it shaded. So that's something we have to keep an eye on. I don't think that's the low here. All right, let's go to your questions. I know there's a lot of super chats that will come in because I haven't been online in a while. I'll do the best I can to get to them all if I get too many. But I'll try to do more live streams if we get too many. But these times are different than what most people are accustomed to anyway. So I'll just start from the top, guys. Mitso, yeah. So Robinhood, I tend to think it trades with the crypto complex. Like when Bitcoin takes out 72,000, Robinhood's probably going to run again pretty hard up. So right now I still have it in this correction. I still have it in the correction. This hit the short area here. It's been rejected. So if we could take out 2162, then the low is in. This low is in a flat correction where C is done. We've corrected this whole swing, the whole move from the all-time low, and this is a great opportunity potentially. So we could be that. This could be this right now. It could be the setup. I'm not forecasting that yet. Because I think that's just a little too bullish given. But I think if we see Bitcoin really break that weekly cycle, I think this is smart to change direction for something like this, even if 2 goes deeper in another swing, which is possible too, right? Because you have, this looks like 5 down here, and like a connector, like another swing down. Something like this. And this could be like a buy against this low if this were to happen, to get back in on this Robinhood. Now, if Robinhood takes out this high, then it's off to the races, and more than likely the market is probably surging higher, bringing Robinhood with it. So very interesting, but it does look like 5 down here, so it does look like possibly a little bit of a bounce, maybe it makes it up to 2084 and then another swing down for 2 in this more bullish setup. But again, like I mentioned, it may be the more bearish setup that I showed lower. So that's why I don't really like buying or trading it here until I get more data. But I'm just showing you some possibilities. But my primary view until I see Bitcoin reverse the weekly cycle, I think you still call this like a 1-2, something like this. This thing plays out like I have it here, and you'll just have to do what's best for you on that. So let me see how did I have this chart, or let me go back here and get my chart back the way I had it. And there we go. All right, there we go. So that's the chart right now. But there was a short here, right? And if you did short it, you're in the profit, so you could just hold that and just keep the short open and close it if it takes the high out. But now there's no trade anymore. So DraftKings has been tricky. I think it's bottomed. Personally, I think it made the low here. You have 1, 2, 3 for W, 1, 2, 3 for Y. It hit a buy area perfectly between the wave 4, and you came off in an impulse, and now you just retook the high. So I think DraftKings has ended this correction, and as soon will be taking out $50. It's just, but it's going to take time to build out of this. I would think. I don't think it's just going to V out, but I do believe DraftKings is bullish, and this was a buy opportunity here for DraftKings. And DraftKings, by the way, guys, was one of the first growth stock. Not say growth, but like the, low market cap growth type stock that bottomed back on May 22, right? Market bottomed October 22, and we actually called the low. Look, guys, if you followed me, we called it to the penny, and I've been trading in and out on DraftKings, making a ton of money in this. Now, but now it's like, maybe is it the first one out, right? The first one out way before the market. Is this the first one out? I mean, I don't know why. I guess we have a nation of addicts, sport addicts, gamblers, and this is what this is saying. So I like it. I like it long, especially we took out this high today, right? It was green. So DraftKings looks good. SoFi, I always want to stay away from this SoFi stock. I don't particularly like the sector. I don't like the small cap nature of it. And I don't like the chart. But people love it for some reason. God knows why. I still don't know why it's loved. So look at this, guys. I had this too. This price action did not exist. I said this is where it would probably go, between the 4 and the 2, somewhere in here. And that's where it went, and we reversed hard. I don't know if you noticed, but financials were really bad today. Financials, JP Morgan got obliterated today. Okay, that's a warning sign, by the way, of what's coming. They're just entering their wave 1 to the downside. So they're not even into wave 3. So this isn't, they're not going to crack but it's now their downturn starting. So SoFi's got plenty of room to go lower. Now, does it have another room to go swing higher? It sure does. So this too can do something tricky. You don't have divergence, but it could still swing up as long as it's below $10.45. It can correct. But I believe at some point it's going to have an epic failure. an epic failure. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. But a lot of people love it for some reason. I don't know why. A lot of people love it on the internet. I see a lot of people loving that stock, man. But anyway, BABA. Well, BABA, I haven't been really focused on China too much. I'm not interested. By the way, I'm not interested in buying anything with China, given where the Hang Seng's trading right now. It doesn't bother me. So BABA's still stuck. It's got to take out 85, 87 to negate this bearish setup. Okay, until then, so right here, it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's in the middle of nowhere, so it's kind of like do or die time for BABA. It's do or die time. If it's either something like 1-2. Is Donald Trump going to destroy Harris in the debate, and they know China's going to get obliterated because he'll get elected, and tariffs are coming, and that's what will happen in the next 24 hours. Everything China is going to collapse. That's what this chart says. Or is Harris going to do well, and China good friends with China, and that goes away, and China pumps? So I don't know, but I would say the Hang Seng, if you look at it, it shows a strange setup. You have three. This three's over. Again, it's in the middle of nowhere. Are we going to make a whole new swing down to retest this low? Or is it finished here and we're going to start Y and going to come back up? Don't know. So China is what I call an indecisive moment. Technically, it can go either way, 50-50. You have both sides, at the poker table. They're all in with their stack, and no one's blinked yet. But I think in the next 24 to 48 hours, someone's going to blink, and then we'll know for sure where we're going with this China trade. If you look at where the dollar index is trading, it should go lower. So maybe the bias is for it to go higher. But that's why I'm just kind of ignoring it. It's just not something I want to trade until I get more data. Okay, Khaled, let's go to your super chat. AMC and GME. So AMC did pretty well trying to recover. AMC, the setup requires patience. As long as the technicals hold, the setup that stays valid, even though it goes on for a long time. So again, I was looking at this as like a 1-2, 1-2, 3-4-5 for a 3-4-5. Now, I would put this 3 here and this 4 here and 5 here. So I can do that too. So I think whatever happens tomorrow, if this sells off because of the GME sell-off tonight, then I would just call this another 1-2. And then it's just correcting. It's just correcting this. And it's got to stay above 461. So again, this is just day trader battles. Everyone was freaking out back here, and it came all the way back up to 511. And then soon enough, it's going to be up here again. It's just people are so impatient with these AMC and GME. And I think it's because everybody has calls. Everybody has calls and puts and shit. And they lose, and that makes it tough. It makes it tough, but you got to have enough in your account balance one day where you're your own call, you're your own put. You could do your own thing. So that's what I think. Now GME, let's look at GME real quick. Okay, so GME sold off, and the sell-off was predictable. I should have put this out this morning because we had 5 waves up. We had 1, and then where do we go? We go to the 2096 between the 4 and the 2. Again, it's like a broken record. I'm like a broken record, guys. So we probably come down here. Where did we go after hours? How far down? Well, what do you know? Right there. See, it's kind of like magic almost. It's almost scary how well the technicals work. So now we'll need to see if it could get supported. But again, it's got to stay above 1873. Now, Am I a fortune teller? Do I know that's going to happen tomorrow? I don't know. Maybe it'll break it. If it does, that's pretty bad for the stock. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be pretty bad. But for now, we'll just kind of hope it stays supported. And it should, if the technicals work out. We'll have to wait and see how the technicals play out tomorrow. All right, Ronaldo, let's go to yours. AG, let's go to AG here. All right, AG. AG. So AG took a pretty big, a much deeper correction, but as long as it's above 443, the structure is sound. Now, if we break 443, then the technical it would have technical breakdown of the chart, which would turn into more like, I mean, if I look at this, let's go back and look at this one more time at the 4-hour time frame. So you see here, there's no divergence. Now, what's interesting is you came down, you almost erased the divergence here. So even if you would have broke the low, it may have been okay. But so you didn't break the low. So I still call it like 1 2 1 2. This is some kind of 3-wave move. Even though again it appears to be 5, the technicals show it's not. It's 3. So the connector, this is your connector here. This is your connector. So this like 1 2 3 1 2 3. So then that has to hold. Now the RSI, it looks like the 4-hour RSI is turning up, right? It looks like you're getting a breakout on the 4-hour RSI here. If I just draw that line, right? See that? So I'm hopeful that you found the major low and you're going to turn up. And then people will look back and say, wow, I should have bought this. And be too late. So that's what I'm looking at. But as long as that holds, that's the count. Now, if that breaks, then you have a connector wave. And obviously 412 would break. And then it would be a pretty big drop. Because then this would be a connector for this entire move. It would be catastrophic. It would be a massive technical breakdown. It wouldn't be tradable on the long side anymore if that happens. At least on my system. All right, Dogecoin. How's Dogecoin doing? I haven't looked at it. Let's take a look. So Dogecoin never made it up to the short area that we would expected it to, but I still think it will break down just like I have it here, no matter what happens. If it can make it up to this short area, this would be too big. So I think you have to go with something like, for now, a 1 2 1 2 setup. But let's just take a deeper look at this on this leg down here. So this only looks like 3 waves down. 1 2. So maybe just looking at it one more time, and you have 5 up here. So this could become a complex connector wave. So what I'm thinking, here's what I'm thinking it's going to do is it something like, and do something like that, and then it comes up, and then it comes up like that, and then you get another swing lower later. So that's what I'm thinking it's going to do now, because this is because the 2 didn't come up high enough, and then 2 it's playing out. So I think it's going to do some kind of trickery, destroy both sides of the market, and then make another swing down later. But because we broke this low, it's definitely bearish. It's bearish, and it's to be shorted. If the setup's there, there's no setup. Thanks again. Appreciate the congratulations on the move. Okay, Mark V, let's go to your stocks. Let's take a look at see if I have some of these already done or not. Let's see. So everyone in the market's kind of like, what's going to do? Is it going to go down, go up? Everyone's so confused. And I think it's all about the VIX. I think the market is gyrating around because the VIX shorts have overplayed their hands. But of course the VIX is showing 5 up, so it's going to create a pullback in the VIX, which will raise the market higher. But at some point that will end, and then the market will go down. All right, so JIN, right away when I see something like this, it's connector wave. Like it's a triangle, right? It's a triangle, and that means it's a continuation pattern lower. So this is going to be some kind of continuation pattern, A, B, C, D, E, and down. So this probably will go back up one more swing. It looks like it's missing a swing, and then it should have another catastrophic meltdown once it comes out of this this consolidation, something like that, and then it'll come back down. All right, that's GIN, BHP. Let's take a look at that. So BHP, I have to go to the monthly. So here's a full cycle, and then you have this partial cycle here. Yeah, it looks like you got some kind of 1-2, 1-2 here. You're working on some kind of 1-2, 1-2 pattern. And clearly this looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just finished 5 up. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now it's correcting. So it's probably coming all the way back down to 27, 23 at some point. And then you'll see a powerful wave 3. So this has got more downside. It could be a straight line down, but it could always bounce and meander around how it plays out. But to me, it looks like it's pretty clear you're correct in this whole cycle, and you just started the correction. All right, WTC, Wise Tech Global. So that one looks like it's pumping, but you see all that divergence. So it's still playing out its wave 3 of 3. So we'll just we have to label this more bullish. The more bullish 1-2, 1-2. So this one is, you would want to buy it on any pullback or dip. You want to buy that on any dip or pullback. But there you go. Pretty easy way to graph it. And that's how it looks. So it should continue higher, but of course it could be a pullback, but that's a buy-in opportunity. This one is obviously very bullish. What do these guys do? These guys, software services, logistics, something like that. All right. Update on SILN. Hold on. Is let's see here, SILEX. Hold on. Oh, there it is. All right, where are we with this thing? Yeah, it looks like we should be bouncing it. We should be bouncing, or did it? It may have done a straight down crash correction. Again, it's bullish. Let's get this out of here. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It really can't go any deeper. Now, you see how it's correcting the whole thing, this whole cycle. So this is too bullish. This counts too bullish. So we have to take another look at this. We're gonna have to call it a flat. Even though, see how it looks like 5 waves up. It's got to be 3, and I could force 3. So we're going to have to call this a flat. And in the nature of the flat, typically the C leg is a crash like this. So it's just a flat. that will end somewhere around this area here that my cursor is, but it's obviously got much more, it's got more room to go down. But it seems kind of overextended, like it needs a bigger rally, but it looks like you have 1, 2. Yeah, your first impulse is here, 1, 2. So yeah, it's in some ways you have a 1 and a 2, and you still got a 3, 4, 5 to go. So it's a flat. It's a flat here, and one way to target the flat is the extension, which is $2 and a penny. So something like that. But it is buyable because you broke this high here. But it's going to be painful, quite painful for investors to hold through all of these losses. All right, thanks for the super chat. All right, Thomas, let me try to get through some of these. DHI, hopefully I have these charted already here. DHI. DHI's in the short area again. It's just taking its good old time. Go ask the oil investors how long they had to wait for their shorts to finally pay out. I think 4 months it stays. So this could stay up in this area for 4 or 5 months before it finally. So you're just gonna have to wait. You're just gonna have to wait it out. As long as it's below 193, it's bearish. Meta, I think Meta was looking for one more push lower. And Meta and all the big cap tech. The big cap tech is again, this was my Meta chart before my move, and it still should play out just like I have it. Maybe we could put the 1, 2 right here now, something like that. All right, that's pretty easy. PPL. What is that one? Did I have that right? PPL, yeah. All right, so that's a new one. So looks like you got like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, a 1, 2, 3 swings. Yes. So we're gonna have to say it's moving in 3s for now. Let's go. So this doesn't look like it's finished. This looks like A. You're down in 5 here. And you're in some B. So you're in some kind of B wave. This looks like its own A. Let's take a look. Yeah, I mean, I look at this 3, and then it's gonna. So I think again, it's tough. It's tough to say exactly because of the way that wave looks to me. But you know, I'd probably have to label it something like this, and then down for one more low is what I'm thinking. And then you could go higher. All right. GDX. So the thing about gold and the miners is that it's close to a breakout, but the market's really, so you have the 3 waves. And here I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we pulled back deeper, right? 3 a connector and 3. So now you're here. Let's go to the higher time frame. You have the reset. So it's do or die. The GDX is do or die. But the great thing is you're back testing the trend, the breakout, the downtrend line, right? You're back testing that. So technically, it's ready to roll. Like tomorrow. Like tomorrow, it could be a massive breakout. Like the GDX, everyone's like, I want to buy calls on Apple and shit like that. Well, maybe buying calls on the GDX is the play for tomorrow on CPI and on the debate. I mean, that's the setup I'm seeing. I'm seeing a massive bullish setup here. Now, can it be negated? Absolutely. If we come back down and break 33.84, then it's a flat. Then it's got to be a flat. This is mislabeled, and then it will come back down to 32, and then it will moon. But the thing is, it's going higher. Like whatever happens here, it's going to go higher. So if you're a long-term investor, you should just hold through this. You just hold through this and not care. But if you're a trader, this could have been a massive opportunity to go long today. But many traders weren't paying attention to that today. They were paying attention to big cap tech, which I'm trying to tell people not to pay attention to anymore. But people can't help themselves. They just love it so much. But today, I think this could have been the trade of a wave 3 of 3 breakout, potentially, here. But we'll see. Tomorrow's a big day for this sector, I think. A big day. All right, next, Celsius. Yeah, Celsius is really, I don't like the bottom fish, but I couldn't even help it myself. I had to try to bottom fish it. I look at this final wave here, ABC. We labeled this down as a 1-2. We avoided the trap, right? The freight train coming at us, right? We saw the lower low breakdown, so we got out of it at 52. We didn't fall for that trap. We got the wave 3. We got a 4. So we're in this 5th wave. So the 5th wave is going to end. Right? It's not going to just go to 0. So when this 5th wave ends, the correction should over. Now the problem is I could still maybe label it like something like this for one more low. It's possible. It's possible. But I can also force the 4 to be done like that. So it's tough. So I think you just have to start dollar cost averaging in on it if you believe this is the count. Because the time the bottom is going to be impossible. Maybe I got lucky. I timed the bottom with my post. But if we make another low, we'll have to wait and see. We don't have the 4-hour reset yet. So it's a market. I think the market wants to make one more low. And then that should do it. SLB. What's SLB? Schlumberger is in a buy area, but the sequence should needs more downside to finish it. You have 5 waves down here in the A, so you need to get 5 waves down. So something like that, but it is in the buy area. And we have seen stocks that go in the buy area, truncate and do crazy shit. And so this is where you have to, if you really want it, you could stick your neck out and buy it, or you could try to time it better, get it at 34, 32, a little lower, but you'll have to do what's best for you. But that's the count. Somewhere in there, it's going to bottom out. Okay, that's what's expected. Bill, is that stock even trading it? I thought they got taken over or something, this Bill. Let me see. Maybe I'm mixing it up with something else. Oh, no, we did. Okay. So we looks like we called that bottom right. It looks like to me that's another 1-2 right here. Or no, actually this is more indicative of a 4 wave, something like this. So it could be a 4-5 like this, or it can even be this, and we're finished the first impulse, and we come back down to 49. That's probably the most conservative view. And it's probably what it's morphing into, something like that. IIPR. Let's take a look at this one. So we had this B wave. So we're still in this B wave is what we're in. A, B. So we need an impulse. We need to finish this impulse. So typically the area where it would reverse would be at 130, 140. So that's why I never like trading connector waves. Once we broke that low like that, it becomes like a connector wave, and it's just something I just don't like trading those. those sideways connector waves. It's just not worth the mental effort. And so this is a tough count because it could actually, yeah, it's just continuing to extend. So I think it's got more upside. I'm not going to label it. It's too many possibilities, but I think you get the idea. I think it's got more upside. And then at some point, you'll get C later. I don't think that box, I think it could go higher. Yeah, appreciate it, Thomas. All right, and I caught my meta already. All right, Howard, let's go to yours. Wolf. So, Wolf speed. Oh man, yeah, that thing got obliterated. So I was trying to draw this wedge out. I was like, well, maybe I could just chart pattern this wedge, and when it finally breaks out, it'll be a massive like opportunity, and it's just continuing to go down. It just doesn't stop going down. I mean, I don't know if it's going bankrupt or something. I mean, damn. So 3 waves W, 3 waves Y connector. Now you could see why you had this shallow connector for this whole move, which foreshadowed this big drop when you broke this low here. That negated the bullish setup right there. And so now it's got to go down in another 3 swings. So that looks like an A. That looks like a B, and now you need a C. That looks like a 1, a 2, 1, 2. Looks like 3, 4, something like that. I mean, it's going to be impossible to bottom fish this thing. Good luck. I think the only way to trade this is watch the wedge, and when you start seeing it break out, you can try to go long against wherever the prior pivot is, and maybe you can get a wedge breakout because there'll be a massive opportunity when this wedge breaks out finally. But it's building up all this pressure as we go down. Okay, EBS. I think that's that monkeypox stock. So I believe it's got a correction that's playing out. So it's to me it's up in 5, and it's in a 3-wave correction here. So there is a buy opportunity at 333, 154 in this area right here. So there's a buy opportunity for monkeypox stock here. Yeah, maybe monkeypox will come back again, but it's got to stay above 137. If it can't do that, stay above one. Well, yeah, I think it's like this low here. Then it's game over. That means monkeypox was a dud. No monkeypox. All right. FFIE. Well, how did this turn out? So we did hit the short area. We did hit the buy, and then we bounced. So it just took a little bit longer to get there than what we had expected. ABC, big Y. Now we bounced. So we have to stay above 343. So as simple as that. So I would just put this as a 1 there, and now you're going down. This looks like a flat correction, right? Looks like a flat to me. And it looks like it should be almost finished. Right? Something like that. As long as it's above that, and then you get a bigger pump. So yeah, something like that. Good luck on that. All right, popcorn tuna. VGZ. Vista Gold. All right, Vista Gold keeps pushing and grinding higher. Looks like in a series of 1-2s. This This is probably like a 1, 2. And then this was probably like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, what is this chart is telling you something, right? If this is gold miners. There you go, something like that. Now, there's a lot of 1, 2s here. It's a very bullish setup, but if we come back down and take out 52 cents, then it will be a bigger correction in wave 2 here in like a flat. INDO. Yeah, INDO, I believe double corrected. It's in a buy area right now. Let's see if I can find that. So INDO decided to take a double correction, and the buy area was today, or last couple days. So it decided to do 3 swings. This was the buy opportunity, and a 1, 2, 1, 2. Same, as long as we're above 207, this is still possible, this chart. BTDR, BitDeer, some kind of crypto play, was up here. So you see how we broke that low? So the bullish setup was lost, but maybe we erased divergence and everything's okay. Let's take a look at what we've got going on here. Let's just kind of get rid of that. Yeah, I think you could still call that there. Yeah, you see, you just took the divergence out. So I think it's still a setup. So I think it pushed it down just a little bit lower than we would have thought with using trend lines. But technically, I think it's good. I think that could be the low at 541 for this next move higher. All right, Mark V, few U.S. listed stocks. Let's take a look here what we got going on. So there's divergence at this peak. So it's definitely a 1 of some kind. The question is that 2 or not? It probably isn't. It's probably in some kind of connector wave. So again, I never trade the connector waves. This looks like to me an ABC down for W here, and then you have an ABC coming up here and down. So this looks like it should make one more high, more than likely, and then fail. Like one more high is what I'm thinking. And then that should do it. Okay, D is what? Dominion Energy. So Dominion Energy should be done this 5th wave at any moment. Yeah, at any moment, right? Although we almost took out the wave 3 peak. We have taken, so actually, yeah, we've taken these peaks out, so it's extended. So again, this is why Elliott wave sometimes is not predictable, because these extensions, just, could kill you. So it's extended, it's coming out. So I would just label it very bullish. It's very bullish. Okay, good luck on that. Then WCC. Wesco. All right, so we're in this this mess here. 3. So this could still be in B. Actually, I bet it's going to do. So this is really tricky, because this could be a connector in the connector. Okay, which is really and that's kind of what this is saying. You get something like that. you know, something like that. So this is just sideways chop city, right? I mean, it's just chop people up to death here. That's what I think. That's what I think is going to happen. DUK, Duke Energy. Looks like that's hitting probably some kind of wave 5 here, I bet. Let's take a look. So again, the peak is here, so it looks like it's another 1, 2, 1. Looks like it's almost the same count as one we just saw a minute ago. That's up. This is up in 5 and is finished. Something like that. And then the question is, it's extended in 5. So I think it's for now I'm just labeling it as I see it. It could always erase divergence, but it looks like it's extended in 5 here. And then there would be a dramatic pullback, because if this is 5, which it is, because here's your peak in 3. Now, unless you can take the divergence out, if you can't take the divergence out, you're going to lose this whole 5. It's going to come all the way back down to $50. So very, very dangerous to chase it. But if you get lucky and erase divergence, then it's just going to continue to push higher. And yep, appreciate the super chat, Mark. All right, Jonathan, thanks for the big super jack. Etsy, let's go to Etsy's one we haven't been asked about. I haven't been asked about for a while. Etsy, oh wow, it's almost in a buyer. It must have had that box for a long time. Look at that. All right, so you're letting our members know. Our members are my followers, not members yet. Followers here, 47.69. There you go. It's almost there. This would be a great opportunity, because you have 3, a connector, and 3. Now, if you look at this, you have your connector here, like you have your connector there, and so now it's really just about erasing divergence. So the best way to time it is to watch the divergence being erased on here. You want that to happen. So when that is if you're at 47.69 and that hasn't happened, I wouldn't buy it yet. But whenever you see that weekly divergence erase, and you probably will be somewhere in this shaded area, that will be the time to start buying it if you believe in it. The shorter term is lower, right? I mean, that's what you're asking. The shorter term, it's obviously lower, right? Oops, it's lower. But looking at the structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. So it looks like to me, again, I'm just going to do this. 1, 2, 1, 2, hold on 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, something like that. Hold on. You see here, there's no, so we haven't even seen wave 3 so we're not even seeing wave 3 yet. We have so much divergence. So to me, it's in like some kind of 1, 2, 1, 2 setup. Something like that. And then it's probably going to come back up again. And then, so it's got a wave 3 moment. So yeah, you're just going to have to, short term, anything's possible, because these counts are notorious for so many permutations and combinations, but in the shorter cycle. But eventually it's going to give up. It's going to give it up. It's going to have a 3. It's going to have a bigger capitulation move. But I don't know when. But it will happen. All right, CVS. Oh, that's Walgreens is the one that was really obliterated. Yeah, how's CVS? CVS hanging in there? Are they getting obliterated too? Again, these are they're afraid of Amazon pharmacy, right? So that obviously looks like to me yeah, it's too deep. So if you look at it, it's probably some kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then we took that divergence out, so we can't say that. So I was going to put the 3 there, but then this is too deep. So I would have to just call this another 1, 2, where it's like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or maybe we could do it like this. Let's see, we didn't break that high here. I have to go to the quarterly. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to label it as a 4. There's really no other label that it just doesn't make sense for me. So I'm just gonna label it as a 4 wave. So there could be a buy-in opportunity, I guess, for those brave enough to wanna buy it at 50.27. So again, shorter time frame, lower. But this one may produce a big counter, a big move higher. If you look here, that looks like 3 waves down. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have 1, 2, 3. Connector, 1, 2. And then it looks like it needs more downside. Like this is incomplete. It's incomplete. It's like part of the picture. It needs like another 3 down. So good luck on that. All right, Victoria, yeah, let's welcome, appreciate that. Tesla, let's take a look how Tesla's doing. Tesla's been pretty challenging for people. It's fighting that downtrend line. Every time I look at it, it's trying to come up. So again, still was forecasting lower. We come up above the downtrend, slam back down, slam down. So it's again, as long as we're below 234.56, you know, I still like the bearish setup on it more than the bullish setup. But there's a massive battle going on. And what could happen is if we do take this out, then this X will obviously go higher, but then what it's going to be is the connector is going to go much larger. So it will be like it would feel good technically for people, for trader, you know, to have this, but then at some point there'll be a catastrophe in Tesla. It won't, I don't think, even if it could make another swing higher, it's more than likely gonna fail, is what I'm thinking here at 313. So the key is if it can make it above 237.12, I think you can hit 313, 327 pretty easily. But then after that, it's anybody's guess, because we only have 3 up. We don't have 5 up. Now, I had talked about a lead-in diagonal situation earlier where I put the 2 there, and this is some massive lead-in diagonal. We get a 1, a 2, and you get like a 3, a 4, and a 5, and then get a huge pullback. We'll watch that develop. If it does, we'll have time to get back in. It would have to be overlapping typically. So, but that's why I don't like. It just doesn't look good from a bullish standpoint. But shorter term, if we could take out 237.43, that should push it higher to the 300s, I think. Okay. Walmart, I believe, was topping out soon. Yeah, in this 5th wave. Looks like we called that 5th wave. So now we need to go, have we erased divergence or not, right? That's the key. All right, so we still have bearish divergence. So what's interesting here is on this leg, the weekly, the daily erase divergence. So I got to relabel this as more bullish. This is more bullish. You see how that works, guys? I mean, this is why it's so hard to top tick the market with just using Elliott wave. It's so hard. So yeah, now it's extending. So it's continuing to extend. Walmart's doing everything right, it looks like. Yeah, and that's actually another one too right here. Walmart looks like it's going to really push higher. All right. Hut. So Hut, we wanted the bottom here, but now that we broke this low, it's in a connector wave unless we erase divergence. We didn't do that. Let's look at the daily. Now the daily did, so I would call that's okay. So I think you could call that as just a truncated move in 3 waves because of that. So I would just trade the cycle here, and as you can see, the daily cycle is about to break out. I'm bullish, right? You're about to have a new daily cycle already started. So my guess is it's starting to turn higher. So I would consider this pattern finished. As long as you're above 875, we should start to see wave Y continue higher. All right, guys. So I think I got through all the super chats. I won't be able to stay on too long today. I got to get off here. I got a lot of things. I tried to squeeze this one in. I'll try to be back on tomorrow during trading hours, probably toward the late afternoon time frame is what I'm thinking. But I'll try to post the specific time. But thanks again, guys. I appreciate everything, and we'll be back.